Hello, how are you? I don't know if you could hear me. Just gonna try to hop on my phone, see how that works out. If I can figure it out, it'll work out pretty well.
You chose nursing because you wanted to help others. Now you're choosing an
That
MSN
advertisement.
because you want to help yourself too. Now you're choosing an
That
MSN
advertisement.
because you want to help yourself.
Hey Cliff, how are you today? Thank you for hopping on. I'm doing pretty well. It's absolutely gorgeous out today. I'm trying to charge my phone as we do this here. Got one of these external solar chargers. Um, my cousin actually gave me this one. Thought it was a little silly at first, but I'll tell you one thing: it when it's fully charged, it charges your phone up instantaneously. It charges Alex's tablet up very quick too when we're out there. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm watching on my phone to see how long it takes after I say it. I look at my phone. How's the weather over there? Shows here. Just trying to figure out how to do this live. It's definitely a lot harder than it is to upload and edit a video. We had all this crazy amount of rain here for the last few days. Finally, today we got the break in it, which is pretty nice. But I think the pollen or the grass mold or whatever it may or may not be considered is messing with me a little bit. I'm feeling it like right in here. Wow, well, that's good. 36 degrees. I don't think we're gonna see 36 for a while, even though next week they're calling for like snow showers. But I keep getting on that Echo, that PB9010T. I get a lot of comments, and I've actually looked it up too a few on a few different forums. And a lot of the commercial professional guys, you may have some experience with it yourself, Cliff, say they're only getting like a year and a half, 2 years out of that machine at most, and that they stop buying them altogether. I mean, hours if we start it and use it for 15 minutes at a clip might be a lot, nowhere near what professionals would be using it, but that's a little worrisome on our end, at least for a consumer. I mean, it works great, but to get 1 year out of it, I don't think that's or 1 or 2 years. I mean, that granted, yeah, it's hard years, but still, a lot of those Red Maxes. I know on Long Island when I was, I did a lot of landscaping on Long Island on the side and for different companies just to make extra money, and they would all use Red Maxes, and those Red Maxes never seem to have an issue. But I believe Red Max is owned by Husqvarna. Don't quote me. Not too sure. I could look that up. Who owns Red Max? Yeah, Husqvarna bought Zenoa, also known Red Max, for its satisfied charge technology in late 2006. But yeah, it says Red Max is Husqvarna. I always seem to like that little Echo that we have. I don't remember the model. That thing my dad has for a while now, and it has no issues. 580T hasn't had any issues at all. I gotta look up what that is because I truly don't know what that one is. Oh, yep. I don't know if that's with the 9010T, and that might be it too. Yeah, I think it is a 580 that my dad has. Yeah, you think I've used it? You think I'd remember it? And yeah, if that's the model he has at the house, then yeah, then I could look up on the channel and see which one I was talking about too. But he's uh he hasn't had any trouble with that at all either. I had a Red Max for years, and then I think they consider that the solenoid when you go to pull start it. I don't know what that noise was. Oh great. Sorry, 1 second. My sister just texted me. Um, yep, that's the one. Yeah. But that Red Max that I've had for years, that starter solenoid behind, I guess it's whatever it is, that whatever electrical, it's a little piece in there. They said that they stopped making them. So I actually about a month or two ago, I went when I went to the local dump here. I threw out the whole backpack blower. It's been sitting for about 3 or 4 years, and they kept. I went to two different shops, and they said they couldn't replace that or couldn't get the part for it. Sorry, 1 second. I'm so sorry. They're just traveling back home. So I was talking to her. But trying to go out today. I'm gonna go meet up at my buddy's farm. Echo just came out with a 7910 blower. I'll maybe check that out too. I definitely want to check out. I was gonna look into getting a top handle chainsaw, but I'm not too sure if I want that or if I want to get into another 20-inch or bigger chainsaw. Definitely probably gonna look into a Husqvarna. I like the steel. Besides that one little issue we've had, it's been pretty well. It's been pretty good. The the Echo I have, the one that you told me to get, that's actually at a buddy's house down here. I'll probably pick that up hopefully within the next few weeks because I would like to run that again. I mean, he's been using it, so it's not that it has anything to do with that. I would just like to try to compare those two side by side since it has the new bar and chain on it, and then hopefully get a Husqvarna. Maybe I'll get it the same size and have three of the same size chainsaws, and go back to back. I want to see what the 7910 looks like. 7910. Hmm. Yeah, it is 7910T two stroke for 599. Now, is this supposed to? I can look more into it. I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to go and compete directly with the 90T10 because everything. Oh well, maybe not. This is a 835 CFM. Still strong as heck. Uh, oh yeah, there you go. That's what I'm reading right now. Hmm. I did not know that. It's just worrisome because if that, well, not really so much for us because we don't use it as much, but you spend that kind of money to get 2 seasons out of it, doesn't really sound like you get, as a consumer, you're getting as much as you're bang for your buck for it. Then that's a little rough. But this was what I was kind of searching around a little bit. Let me see if I can pull this up. No, that one, the that 7910, you were 100% correct. That says that it's supposed to be comparable to the but just lighter. That's what Steel was on, and that form said. Uh, yeah, I was doing a little bit of research on that. It's the Husqvarna. It's the 450, but I don't know if that's considered their farms. Yeah, the Rancher. I only ran my brother-in-law's once. It was good. But it was a more of a homeowner model, something that I would consider using myself. But this is it's a Husqvarna 450 Rancher 50cc gas chainsaw. I think that's going to be probably the most comparable to what I have so far. Um, that's my cat going crazy. There he is. That's him right there. In the morning time, we'll get up and I'll get the dogs, get them ready to go for a walk, and the dogs eat and drink in the garage just because they're larger dogs and they one of them tends to make a mess when he's drinking. He gets water everywhere. So it's just easy to keep their bowls in the garage. And when we go to work, since both of the cars are out of the garage, we keep them in the garage and it's heated uh, for the wintertime at least. In the summertime, they stay in all. It would be dangerously too hot. So like right now, our garage is reading 65 degrees and our house is 70 degrees. And and both dogs are over 80 pounds and heavily furred coats. So he goes in there. I'll go take the dogs out. I'll come back, pull the cars out, and he'll shoot right in the garage and hang out with the. They're all boys, even the cat. So he'll hang out with the boys, and he'll go in there. And just recently, because now we're trying to see if he was like actually do it, but he'll stay in there for like 20 minutes, and then then we'll let him in or we'll go grab him. But he's been wanting to stay longer and longer, and like even when we try to go get him, he'll never ever like run from us. But in the garage, he like would run, and I put a litter box in there the other day, and Monique and I were seeing if he would, actively use it. But today was the first day I left here this morning at 7:30 to go to my parents' house to go do a few things, and then I got back at 12:30, and he was in there with the boys, and he seems to love it. I mean, their bowls are high enough, but he's long enough that he could actually get off and use their bowls too. But that's the first cat I could remember like having. I know as a child we had a few, but talking like 30 years ago. This guy, he's too funny. I don't remember having a cat like this, and he's all over the place, bouncing around. My dogs are like 12 and 13 years old, and he's just turned a year, and he plays with them though. It's quite funny watching them all interact. But sorry about that. He gets them fired up. But back to the chainsaw. Yeah, I would like to look into something else, or maybe I'll just get another Echo. I don't really know yet. I do know is I have to go and cut some more stuff down by my parents' house. I got to get that pipe installed, and then I know once I get a chance, I want to take one of Chris's trucks, go pick up the tractor, go to the other Chris's house, and start clearing the side there, which should be good. I should get some content out of that. It's just been slow. I don't want to just make stuff to pretend like I have to make it just to satisfy the YouTube algorithm. But thank you very much for hopping on me, Cliff. As of right now, it just shows it's just you and I, which is totally cool. I don't know what else is really going on today, though. Got another about 14 minutes before I have to probably head out. Shows one other person came in. Hello, how are you? Cliff and I are just talking about backpack blowers, chainsaws, and my cat did a lap and came and hung out over here. It would make it easier if it wasn't just like it just shows me, it says live, how long we've been live. It shows us two people and then the thumbs up or not. It just doesn't show me unless you're in the chat who came in. So I don't want to be rude. I don't see who's in here or not. If you're looking to 50 years, check out the CS 490. Use the heck out of mine. I'm assuming CS. If I had to guess, CS 490 would be an Echo 2. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna Google it right now. Echo. Yep. Another 50. All right. Not too bad in price. I don't know what buya.com. Oh, used. Okay, that's why it's showing $200. Okay, so it retails for $564 at Home Depot. All right, I don't know why it was showing it to be that. I won't say cheap, but for $200. Yeah, I do enjoy. I keep getting like emails from. I'm gonna just call it what it is. They'll say it's coming from China. These Chinese electric chainsaw stuff and a few other companies based out of China that want to send and do a review, but you look them up and you have no idea who they are. I mean, at least with Built Hard, I had a small relationship with them prior, before I even was sent that electric splitter. I had an idea what I was looking at. I mean, I need an electric splitter anyway. I was looking for one, and we went back and forth with emails, and then they would show me some product stuff and send me some stuff about their company and all that. Just information. I mean, they never. When I do those kind of things, I've done like four of them now. I don't want I like that's right in the negotiation is that it's not for payment. I just if you want to send it, sure, go ahead, send me the product. I'll do a review, and it'll be an honest review on it. But I'm not gonna give a fake review just to make a video. And if they don't like the review, that's fine. Then just let me know. I keep the box, and pay for shipping. I'll send it back to you. That's totally fine. But yeah, no, they were very cool. I know in the new year it looks like they might be sending me over their wood chipper. I think it goes from up to 3 inches to chip limbs and stuff like that. A gas one. Uh, I'd be happy with that. I definitely, when we first started the negotiation process and talking, that was one thing I told them I definitely wanted. They said, "Well, this is something we're trying to spotlight, and would you be interested?" I said, "Sure." These are the two things I was looking for anyway. But I'd definitely be happy with that because a lot of the stuff I take down, I don't take down massive trees. I mean, you've seen it. I mean, yes, do they grow tall? Sure, but at max they might be maybe 10, 18 inches in circumference. So I'm not comfortable enough to take down some massive trees, especially with how wide they are. It's not something I don't want to get. I know I can get hurt with any size tree, but I'm not trying to get hurt. But I would like to do that. I know I spoke to my dad about, instead of having all the logs and brush on the side, what we could do is get a wood chipper for the back PTO drive of my Mahindra, and do that instead of my parents renting out a wood chipper, like a professional grade wood chipper or whatever, they're from Sunbelt. Um, and I think for the weekend it was like $900 for the weekend, if not a little bit more with the insurance, to go ahead and, instead of putting that money for the weekend, put that towards a chipper, and I'll put in the rest for the chipper too, and get a PTO driven one. That way we could have it and always use it. It's another implement, and we can clear so much off the side, and whatever's too big for it, then we'll either use as firewood or just split it and try to burn it during the rainy season down here, which is, from what I gather, this is my third winter down here. No, it's our second because we moved down here during, so it wasn't a full one. But this is like the rainy season. It's down here at least. It stays relatively dry almost the whole summer. So even if we did all that work, let it sit, and then ads will be run shortly for some viewers. Okay, looks like, I don't know why there will be an ad. I didn't choose that. Um, if I stop talking, that's because in 38 seconds, I guess an ad's gonna run on your screen. If you guys let me know if that truly does happen. It says for some viewers, but there's only two of you in here, so I mean, so 50% of, no, absolutely none. I did it in the beginning when I first started. I sold a few. It's just I haven't. And if you get this ad, let me know. It's coming in 15 seconds. And I'll let you know after that. It's not anything suspenseful. It's just work's being crazy. And hold on, five. I should sell it. Okay, it's gonna go now. Ad insert. Maybe the ad is over. I'm not sure. Um, if the ad is over, I'll go. It's just I should be selling a lot more of it. It's a little bit of a challenge to get it from the bottom of where my parents' property is to where the road is. I know on camera it doesn't look like a lot, but it's a little bit of a pain as of right now, and we're destroying that one hill coming up with the UTV. I mean, we totally, there used to be grass and luscious and beautiful, and now that whole side is just, I mean, if you see it in person, where the grass is all here, and then since those tires are pretty, they have like a heavily, um it's got a really thick tread on those tires, so it just wore away all the grass, and it's just, the dirt is now like 6 to 8 inches. uh I don't know how to explain that. It's dug in so deep that it's about 6 or 8 inches difference between the grass and where the dirt is. So once that pipe goes in on the side there, then it will be totally different. Yeah, it will be so much easier to get that wood out. It it's I probably wouldn't even sell for too much because I know the convenience stores down here, like or the even like Lowe's, Home Depot, all the box stores, and then the they have like Food Lion, Harris Teeter, which are food stores. They sell them. It's a 1 cubic foot or 1 cubic yard. I think yeah, it's definitely 1 cubic yard of firewood is anywhere between $11 and $15. And to be honest with you, I would just get rid of it if I could get rid of it for $5. I'd get rid of 1 cubic yard, bundle it, wrap it, put a poster in there of who to contact, and do it that way and sell them for $5. I just don't have an area. And when my parents are there, their road is a private road, so you have to go through a gate to get in. And it's not like I could have, even in my neighborhood, like my neighborhood here, I couldn't. I'm in an HOA too, so I couldn't have like a firewood stand outside or even have it by the road. The best I could probably do is put something over by our pool in the front area and sell it like that, or to the neighbors, have a few bundles, whoever wants it, or just have them tell me. But I don't think I would have enough customers to justify doing that over here. And definitely, there would be no traffic where my parents are because if you don't live in the community or have whatever, you're not getting into it. But 1 second, Alex is calling me. What's up, bud? Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I'm on a live right now.
Oh,
I
are you really?
I'm not even joking.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. I'll call you. I'll call you when I'm done with this, and then I'm gonna go out with Tony. We're gonna go out to the farm and go for some deer.
Alright,
All right. I'll call you. I'll FaceTime you when I'm done, though. All right.
alright.
All right. Bye. He's at his dad's house. For those of you who are joining and don't know, Monique and I have a little guy, um, my my son, but he's I'm not his biological father, so I would be his. I am his stepfather. So he's at his dad's house right now. So he spends every other holiday over there and some parts of the summer. So this is the holiday that he's with his dad's, and he wanted to show me something. I don't know. It's probably game related or YouTube related because he's been dying to make a YouTube channel. I think I'm cool with it. He's got as long as he does good at school and he stays playing sports, he could. I don't mind. We don't mind. I mean, the three or four of us between his biological and Monique and myself, as long as he stays active and doesn't fall behind or everything becomes video games because he's trying to make a video or he's trying to show what he's doing. I'm cool with it. His channel, he wants to make it a soggy meatball, and he already sent me over his profile picture. It's literally a meatball getting thrown into a like a fish bowl. He made it all. He did it all on Canva, and he did all the artwork himself, and pretty funny. But yeah, it's gonna be him playing like his VR games or his tablet games or his whatever other uh, console stuff he has to play. But it'll be interesting. But back to the firewood, yeah. Um, Cliff, I'll definitely let him know he said hi. But yeah, I would try to sell it. I mean, if I definitely had an area, I know when we're done with this house, probably within the next 5 to 6, 7 years. I know we both are going to be moving. Well, obviously we're family, but we want to move. I should have said. Uh, don't know if we're staying in the Carolinas. Uh, you know, it was hard for us to get out of New York, but since once we got out of New York, it's like, well, that was easy. Now, we can really go wherever we want. Uh, Tennessee is a possibility. Georgia, Texas are all possibilities. Um, Monique wants to go closer to the ocean. I love the ocean. I'm fine with that. I mean, I would stay in North Carolina and move 90 miles inland from the ocean. I don't know if I would live on the ocean in North Carolina. At least 60 to 90 miles, that would make it an hour and 15, hour and a half drive instead of like now we're so landlocked. It's killing us. It's about a 3 hour ride, 3.5 hour ride, almost 4 hours from here to I think the closest beach. So you got to leave at like 6 in the morning to get to the beach to even get reasonable parking just to get to the ocean. That's why we got our boat for here, just so we could be on some body of water down here on the lake. But the lake is nice, but there's only so much you can do on a lake. It's not like it's definitely fun for you. You get Alex and his buddies. We pull the tube and they go crazy on it. But there's definitely a lot of people here that have boats that don't have a boating license, and you can tell by when they're driving near buoys and stuff, and you know operating and doing whatever they do. But it's very noticeable who has it and who doesn't. And sometimes it's just not enough of lake for the amount of boats, and it just doesn't seem too safe. But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, if we end up, I know our next thing when we do is our next home. We would like to have a minimum of 50 acres. Monique doesn't want animals. She doesn't want farm animals. She doesn't want a farm. Uh, I can't blame her. I don't really want a farm either. I definitely want property that I could do whatever I want on, including hunting. But I don't know if I want like a homestead where I gotta tend to animals and all that other stuff. That's really not something I have much of an interest in. I don't even really want chickens. Like, I, it's not, something I really want to do with either. And I definitely know my wife doesn't want it either. She's the one that tells me all the time. She's like, if we move and get property, she's like, I don't want to live on a farm. All right, well, that's fine by me. Um, but we'll see. We will, who knows? But I would be surprised if we stood in North Carolina within the next 5, 10 years. That I don't know. It's you know, we shall see. But I don't know if you guys any questions for me. It's easier going doing this. I can respond so much quicker than when I get an alert. But I will be doing. I signed up for CDL school. I'm pretty excited about that. I have my North Carolina DOT manual here. I'll be going to a school June 2nd or June 3rd. It's a Monday. It's like my birthday is June 2nd, so it's either if I start on my birthday or the day after my birthday. I don't know what day my birthday. Yeah, all right. So June 3rd, I start that Monday, and then it ends June 28th. It's 4 weeks of Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning to 5 at night. Once we get done with that, they said that the only problem with which it was cool of them to say, is like you have to have a certain amount of hours to drive at night. Um, and with that, with it being in the summertime, of course, June towards the end of June, you have the longest days, and then you lose a minute here and there after the 21st, but it's still going to be relatively long. So I know there'll be some days where we go to school a little bit. Nice, Cliff. I'll remember to send you a happy birthday. Yeah, I'm June 2nd. And they said, the problem with driving tonight is we'll probably have to move some schoolwork from the morning and then get out, and then we'll go driving at night. But you have to satisfy a certain amount of hours inside of a truck and inside of as a passenger. And so something I always wanted. Growing up, my buddy's dad had a exotic tow truck company. Try English. Had an exotic tow truck company, and we would always go on rides with him to go pick up some really cool cars. We picked up for like a bunch of like Hollywood stars and a bunch of Manhattan royalty, and brought their cars basically from Manhattan to the Hamptons, and then from the Hamptons, when the summer was over, back to Manhattan, where they would just park it inside the garage. But yeah, even as a kid, that was something I always wanted to do. And then when I was able to get my non CDL so that we could drive the whichever model. flatbed he had. I got that at 18, 19 years old, and we would do that on the side, which was cool. And then I always wanted to drive tractor trailer, so figured I get that. Can't hurt. Pick up a few hours here or there, or who knows? We'll see where that goes. I mean, I would love to haul heavy equipment and have heavy equipment if we have 50 plus acres. I would love to have a. I won't call it's not a farm, but our property, and then maybe get some heavy equipment and be able to move it that way, because those massive excavators, I mean, it's still expensive. You figure 30, $40,000 for them, but if you look at the resale on them, they're not very high because they're so hard to transport. Firewood at the all right. I wonder if I watched them. There's a few people I that come across on my on YouTube that I'll watch. Fire. Hold on one second. Firewood. If this guy has a dump truck, then no, I've never seen him. Nope. But I'm gonna check him out though. Got him on my background. Thank you. I will definitely check him out. But yeah, basically what I see here as is on his short here. Do I need a CDL driver? Oh, okay. You know what? Mike Morgan from Outdoor in the Morgans, he did it too because he's looking at getting an F550 or 650, something like that. He's looking at something big to move. I want it just because moving down here, a lot of these guys, I don't know. I have a hat. I think I just washed it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I went for a ride with David from Little Boy Trucking here. He's got a few trucks, and honestly, that was probably one of the coolest things I ever did. I always wanted to go in a dump truck. I never was in a dump truck. I was in a semi once, but yeah, I went with him. We did 3 loads, 4 loads that day. Don't quote me on that. And that was basically after that day. I called Monique and I was like, I'll wear his hat because he's a cool guy. Um, I went with him and I literally got off the phone with Monique and I was like, Monique, I told you I always wanted to do it. I was going to sign up for a school when we lived in the Bronx, but I was like, I don't know if I want to try to learn how to drive a truck in the Bronx and or any of the boroughs. It might be more than what I might get turned off by it because of how. I mean, just driving in the boroughs alone is a challenge. But you know, came down here and I told her, I said, Monique, that was like probably one of the best times I ever had. Just how high up you are. I mean, how here he is again, crazy man. But yeah, something like that would be what I would like to do is have a dump truck like that, or even a semi, or drive in, and on the weekends or during the week if I want, because I don't know, I love what I do, but I don't know if I want to continue with what I do or start something on my own. It just says Cliff. It says I'm not. I don't know if that's short. It says SI. Yeah, I don't think I could scroll down either way. Maybe I'm not sure, but I don't know if that's something if I want to continue with what I'm doing. I know I, before I'm 40, I want to have my CDL. It's always good to have a backup just in case maybe it takes off and all of a sudden I'm driving from North Carolina to Pennsylvania, picking up something, and then going from Pennsylvania back here, or from here down to Georgia. It's all relatively flat and no traffic. I lived in the Bronx with Monique, and I had a doctor's appointment. I had to go to a specialist for a while. in Manhattan, and it was 8 miles away. And I'll never forget. No matter if I wasn't leaving at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, that 8 miles would take an average of an hour and a half to 2 hours to go 8 miles. It was almost faster if I walked. And then where we lived, they ended up putting a ferry, which would have been perfect because I could have hopped on the ferry for $2, went into Manhattan, and then gone to the doctor. But here, it's just everything is so far away, but there's no traffic. That's the really one of the coolest parts about being down here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know about that either. I mean, it unless he's in Pennsylvania too, or I know Mike Morgan. When I follow him, I love watching Outdoors with the Morgans. Um, he put up a video about that too, something basically similar to that, with the ICB totes and firewood and moving the firewood or his truck trailer and load couldn't be over a certain amount of weight. Don't quote me on any of this. He did all the research. And then if yeah, I get him. I get it too. I do a lot of texting with. I'll just go on it and I hit the button and I'll let Siri text for me. But a lot of times she doesn't understand what I'm saying. So I have to go back into. But I know a lot of it has to do with weight. But it was something like if your truck weighed a certain amount, it seemed like then you could tow. I don't know. Don't. He had a whole video on it, which with the way he described it made total sense. But if he had like a normal dump truck, like say an F-250, his trailer, and then his excavator, he could potentially be in a gray area where they could pull him over for not having a CDL. And then he's like, I'm just too old to get a CDL. So this is the way, so, the law is written. But I would imagine it would almost be about the same state to state. I'm not too sure on that. But I don't know. It's definitely something to look into. But either way, I want to go for my Class A CDL. I want that, and then on my 40th birthday, which is 3 years, well, 3.5 years, I want to start my getting my pilot's license for a fixed wing. That is my next thing to do because I would love to do that. When I was in Long Island, I was gonna sign up for. They have a place called. Oh boy, what is it? It's for Cirrus aircraft, the ones that have the cap system where if anything goes wrong, you pull the chute and you have a parachute on the plane. What are they called? I follow them too, which is terrible that I don't remember them. It's like when I try to pretend I could remember stuff, I don't remember it. Nassau Flyers. They have a massive Cirrus fleet. They have another Cirrus school down here, but it's in Raleigh, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away from me, which wouldn't be too terrible. It would be, even cooler if they would pick me up here and then fly back to the school and do that. But that's probably be a lot of money on top of the classes alone. But I just followed a gentleman yesterday. He came up on Instagram and he has a YouTube channel. He's not too far from me down here. He's in Greensboro somewhere, and he flies out of PTI, Piedmont Triad International, GSO. And his name, it's like Thomas. I don't know his last name, Carucci, something like that. Something. Either way, he flies, which is really cool. He'll take his plane out of GSO or the local airport here, and he flies it to the beach, and it's like a 45-minute flight instead of like a 4.5 hour drive, a 4 hour drive, 3.5, 4 hour drive, which I think is pretty cool. But that's well in the future. I'd have to be financially, yeah. That's to have your own plane. I'm sure it's not cheap, but I know Cliff is in here. I don't know who the second person is, so I do appreciate it. I'm gonna hop off if the thank you so much for 45 minutes of hanging out. That was definitely awesome. The only thing I'm going to ask you, did an advertisement come across, because it gave me the countdown and then it says some viewers, but I'm not sure if that was everyone. I would just like to know how to gauge that. If that happens again, do I just stop talking? Do I continue talking? Does it I don't know. I don't know if you got it on your end. But I'm going to call it on here. Thank you again for hanging out with me. Thank you very much, Cliff. I don't know who the viewer is. Yes, got a plan. Okay, great. All right, well, I don't know if that's a hint towards me. But excellent. Thank you very much, Cliff, for hanging out. I hope the rest of your day is great. I hope whoever else is watching or whoever else sees this has a great day. Cliff, happy New Year to you and your family. I don't know if I'm going to have a video up before the new year. I'd like to have one up Saturday if we go out and harvest another deer. It's going to be another hunting video. I don't have much going on really anywhere else. And that's really about it. So I just thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and have a happy and healthy new year. Thank you. I will let them know. Cliff, thank you again. I'm going to end it here. Oh, there's another ad starting in 57 seconds. I don't know if I end it or wait until, I don't know. Sometimes that algorithm gets a little bit crazy. I don't know. Then I'll get a message that will say something. So I guess I'll wait another 50 seconds. Let it run out. But I totally get it. If you're gonna hop off, I do appreciate it, Cliff. And yeah, that's really it. I'm gonna wait this one out. 25 more seconds. Doesn't seem like a long time, 15 seconds, but it is a long time when you're sitting here in silence. Search my gotta get a haircut. All right. I think it says the ad was inserted, so I'm not sure. I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And Cliff, thank you again so much.